20th Ferguson City Council. I'll now call this meeting to order. Let us stand for a silent prayer, and after the silent prayer, we will be led with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. The pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America.
And to the
republic
for which
it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible,
with liberty,
and justice for all.
Okay. Clerk Pittman, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Fry.
Here.
Councilwoman Griffin.
Here.
Councilwoman Burrow.
Here.
Councilwoman Robinette.
Here.
Mayor Jones.
Here.
Councilwoman Lipka.
Here.
And Councilman Garrett.
Here.
A quorum is present. At this time, we will go with our public comments.
Mayor, this is Fran. I have a question. Actually, I wanted to make a motion to move resolution 2021-09 to a work session.
Seconded.
Okay, Fran Griffin put a motion on the floor to move resolution 2021-09 to a work session, and second by Councilman Fry. Do you have any questions?
Well, I would like to ask why that's necessary. We've talked about this code of conduct or SOP for quite a while. So I would like to start a discussion on that.
Did you want me to respond? Is it okay if I respond, Mayor?
Yes, you can respond.
So the reason is we have discussed the code of conduct. We have had a working session to start on the process of that. But in terms of this 26-page document, I have several questions. I do go back to our most recent special council meeting where we talked about the need for all of us to work together to put things in place. We also talked about overlapping and duplication of services and wordage. And I'm looking throughout this document and it has a lot of both. And so I want us to sit down as council. I believe that this is a good start. I believe that it's something that we can look at, but I also believe that there are several things in here that not only overlap, but also I have questions about that I feel like if we're going to put something in place where we conduct ourselves as council, we should be working on this together collectively. And this document right here is not what we've worked on. I don't know where it came from. Other than Councilwoman Burrow, I don't recall us as a council even going over this together to see if this is something that we as a council feel like we should be adopting. And so I feel like when we're talking about, in addition, let me just not mention that the council that this is going to be a code of conduct for, the ones who have been elected by the people have not had a chance to even weigh in as well. And so I think for it to come out literally an hour before the agenda is to be posted so that it can meet the 24-hour time period is disingenuous when we talk about us working together. I think us working together, the wordage and the action is two different things. And I think once we get alignment with that, then we'll actually be able to come together. We always do any other time. So I don't see why we couldn't do it when we sit down in a working session and actually go through this.
Friend,
Okay,
go ahead.
Heather.
So I would just like to say that we had several working sessions. Fran, I don't think that you participated in a couple of them, and I don't think Byron did either. But what's included in this like SOP for council and all of us to follow, I read through it, and where I had some, like, it didn't quite land right for me. I think that it leaves it open to make changes as we feel necessary with the new council coming in. But I think this gives us table stakes to how to treat each other, how to treat the public, how we're interacting with the public. So I think we've talked through this basically for the last 5 years that I've been on council in different ways. I don't think there's anything in here that is outside of what we've discussed before.
Okay, Councilman Fry.
My biggest concern is it's not fair to the new people coming in. It's like you can't just throw some on them. They need to read it. They need to go over it and have a say so. If this is like 6 months prior, it's one thing, but this is minutes, basically minutes before a new board been sworn in. They should have the opportunity to speak about it and look over it and make their own say so. It's only fair to them.
Okay, I see Councilman Garrett.
So speaking to like the new council coming through, there will always be a new council coming through. Like that's the opportunity that we're taking, is to give future generations of council members their best opportunity to have documentation that me personally I did not have. These standard operating procedures are always going to be adjusted and changed through councils going forward. That's the purpose of having a power of 7 to change and make documentation fit the needs of the community at large. So the timeliness of this is coming after many working sessions, and placing it in place is a formality. And the fairness as far as going to new council, there will be opportunities for every council going forward to speak to how procedures and processes are in place, and this wouldn't be a burden to them.
Well, I would just like to say this document been around ever since, I know, 2012. The author of the document, Kim Tide, she gave it to me in 2014. But here recently, we have not ever actually picked this document up and gone through it word for word. Even today, it came back to us with some red lines in it. So I really think, and I agree with Fran and I agree with Councilman Byron, that this should go to a work session, because the new people have a right to look at it and put their red lines or not put their red lines in it. But it's been around for years. So I can't see that all of a sudden it becomes a SOP. And when we have not gone through it line by line.
Mayor,
Yes.
I had my hand up for a while, Mayor Jones.
Okay, I see your picture.
I have my hand up unless this is not working. It's been up from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see my picture? I want to make sure that it's working. Can you see the hand in the right-hand corner?
No.
Okay,
I
so
can see your picture, but anyway, Councilwoman Borough.
this is not all of a sudden. We've been through, like Councilwoman Robinette said several times. And as I mentioned on the Saturday special, that you and Bloom would not comment. and we asked you for your input on these documents. And several times you said you couldn't find it, and we sent it to you several times. And I got this from Octavia when we asked her to send out a group of these documents that we could look over and participate in. This is like the 2040 plan, as the folks said at the day that we decided to adopt that it was a working document. This is the same thing. Whenever you have a document of this nature, of SOPs are never permanent. They're always working, living documents. So therefore, we could have till doomsday people joining the council. There's always going to be a change to an SOP. If it's not, that means it's sitting on the shelf. And if it's sitting on the shelf, it's not doing us any good. This document, as you say, you have seen it before, you looked at it today. There is nothing new up under the sun. But what we cannot put our trust to is that if we wait another day, then it's going to be the same thing we've been doing for the last 6 months, just sitting there. Nobody that has been in the leadership of the council have said, and we've been talking about it practically every meeting, we need an SOP. And this is the beginning. We have to start somewhere, or else it'll be this time next year, we'll be doing the same old thing. You've proven that when we don't come at the right time, we move it on. And it's really a case of stonewalling. And so I move. There's a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. So
Well, there's a hand up.
excuse me, please. When all of y'all was talking, I didn't say anything. Please.
I have not recognized you to put
I'm making a
motion on the
statement.
floor.
I made a statement. I was not trying to put a motion on the floor, Ella. I was still talking. I was making a statement. I was just making a statement. And so I just would like to have the same respect that you want. Every time you do this, I don't talk when you're talking. I would appreciate it. It's rude and it's disrespectful. So I would appreciate you give me the same thing that you want. We ready? Because all I was about to say is there's a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. And I think the process is if we call for a vote, nobody votes on it. I just feel like this document needs to go forward instead of sitting on the shelf. It's been there since, you said since 2012, then it's time for us to move on it. That's my opinion. Thank you for listening.
Linda?
Yes, thank you for recognizing me. So this document, actually, Octavia sent it out twice. I know of it, maybe 3 times in the timeline that we've been talking about this, even since Mr. Garrett's been on the council. So all of us have gotten, whether we were at the work sessions or not, all of us have gotten this document on 2 occasions, if not 3 occasions. And see, so it's core values and mission statement adapted by resolution 2012-11 on June 12, 2012. So adopted by resolution, so it's out there. The red lines that I just want everybody who's hearing this conversation to understand, there's only 3 red lines in it. The first red line is in travel expenses, where it says, the city clerk will send out such opportunities to the council and will ensure that proper approval and reimbursement forms are completed. And the only thing added there is per approval criteria. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And then when you go further into it, under council conduct with the media, it says, however, council members will receive inquiries from the media and should direct those inquiries to, it used to say the city's media team. We don't have a city's media team anymore. So it's crossed out and says city manager and/or city attorney. Then the next line says, before attempting to respond, if the media team feels, that's crossed out and says city manager and/or city attorney think the council members should grant an interview, they will help to clarify the interview request and develop standards. So those are the only 3 red lines in this. And this is a document that's already been certified by resolution. So it's just being recertified with those things that bring it more up to date according to what we have right now. So I do not see an issue with it. So I would like to see that this go ahead and go forward. And the other thing is too, we know that as a council, past councils and future councils, we have the ability to amend anything at any time. So this is not taking away anybody's rights in the future council group, that this just needs to be put in place with the corrections that make it more current to our current situation as a city. And it's being proposed as an SOP so that it is a starting point that we can then create and amend and do what needs to be done, but to at least have a starting point, referring back to what Mr. Garrett said, an opportunity to have some guidelines that he wasn't able to find and we can now provide for our future council. So I think it's a benefit. It is not a detriment. And the red lines are not major. I've read them to you. They're very simple. And there's only 3.
But I have an issue already. Oh, excuse me.
Councilman Fry.
I have an issue already. It's a media team. Why don't you say the mayor? That's who I always had before was the problem. Ferguson, the mayor spoke about Ferguson. That's the elected official who represents our town was the mayor.
I'm simply reading what's in this resolution that was adopted in 2012. And at the time they had a media team and now it goes to city manager and city attorney.
But actually it should say the mayor. I have an issue right there, but the mayor should be one. The mayor is a spokesman for the town of Ferguson.
On legal issues, you would need to confront your city attorney though.
Yes, but when people come to
Then that's
Ferguson,
why
they
stated in
speak to the mayor. If Honorable Sam Page wants to speak to somebody, he calls the mayor up. That's what they do. I mean, to me, it's common sense,
Well,
but it's not written there.
And I hear what you're saying. And again, I would go back to the statement I made earlier that that's definitely something that can be amended by the new council if they so choose.
But that's
But
why
as being
that's
presented-
why they need to look over it to make their decision. I mean, just at the last minute, we'll throw something out. It shouldn't be like that. They should have the right to make their decision on how they feel. I mean, just have this the next. What's the next meeting on the what? Next month. Just table it to the 11th of May. That's it. Give them time to work, to talk about it, to go over it.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Fry.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Burrow.
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to go back to the issue that we've been doing this since you became mayor, talking about an SOP. So it cannot possibly be considered as last minute. And if Councilman Fry wants to make changes now, then we had at least 6 months to make changes on this document that everybody has had. And for those who have never seen it before, I can't tell you why that is, but I can tell you this is a working document. This is just like the 2040. When you need a change, you make the change. It would be a good project. It would be a good, we're trying to do project management software. It'd be a good project for folks that are coming on now. I would look at this as a positive. I would hate to wait another year to have this as a SOP. We have several citizens that are seeing the need for this council to come together. And this is exactly what this document is talking about. I don't think we have the luxury of waiting for another year to pass by before we introduce this. And like, sister,
I'm not saying a year, I said 3 weeks.
please,
3 weeks.
I'm speaking.
3 weeks.
When you were speaking, I did not say a word, please. Mayor, one of the things that Lipka said was that we have a resolution already on this document. So it's just an amendment. That's what we do. That's what we do in this government. In this city setting, that's what we do. We amend. So to even continue to talk about this, the only reason why I'm engaged in it is so the citizens who are listening will understand what's going on here. We've got a document that's already been amended, that's already been set forth as a resolution. And everybody on this sitting council right now should have seen this document many times. And it's time for us to move on it. And when you think about with any government, the reason why we have deadlines. The reason why we have resolutions up to a certain point is because the law, LAW, says that to the last minute, most of my grants are due on 11:59. Most of my grants are sent by me at 11:59. I've never missed a one. That's because that's the time that's allowed, and that's the time I use. The time allowed for this council is now. So this is not against what any law that we have already in place. I want the citizens to understand that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Fry, then Councilman Friend, and after that, we'll go for the vote. Councilman Fry.
Well, the citizens I talk to, they're not worried about SOP. They're worried about potholes, trash, derelict buildings, speeders, full shooting at night all the time. That's what they're worried about, not the SOP. They're worried about the physical stuff that affect them every day. Dodging potholes, people dumping trash, people want to shoot at night. It's funny. People not stopping at stop signs. That's what people actually care about, the physical part of Ferguson, not this piece of paper. Thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman Fran.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I was just gonna say, a working document belongs in a working session. Let me just say, when we start talking about red lines, the copy that I'm looking at right now, which is the one that was listed on the agenda, does not have any red lines through it. So at what point were these edits? I'm wondering at what point these edits were made. To touch on Ms. Tony's suggestion, which is definitely outside of what I'm saying, but to prove my point, I actually waited twice. I was in the middle of speaking when I was interrupted. And so, and again, if we're talking about working with each other right now, as we're speaking, we're saying that it's an amended document. We're talking about possibilities of amending it before we even vote on it. I'm sorry, usually you try to wait until the document is done or at least complete before you make a vote on something that you're saying as you're making the vote that you know that you're gonna have to amend it, that you know you want the council who is about to get sworn in to be able to have input. Like, and then it's almost as if it does not get passed right now. It's going to be a whole nother year before it gets done. That's exacerbating the situation. That is definitely stretching. That is stretching. That's a stretch. Let me just say that's definitely a stretch. And again, this document that you are speaking of and saying that it's already been passed, there are portions of it. The mission statement was adopted in 2012. But there are portions in this document that is not all. This is a collection of things that are throughout the charter. So I want to be clear as we're talking to community that we're actually clarifying what this document is and its portions of what's included in the charter. I have questions about the actual working session, which parts were actually implemented that we did provide, because I have not seen that as of yet. And so again, I think when we talk about what we talked, yes, we have definitely talked about a code of conduct. I think this is actually the direction that we need to go. What I'm saying is a working document belongs in a working session.
You have heard from Councilwoman Fran about putting this resolution into a work session. It has been properly moved in second. We have finished all the questions. Are you ready to vote? Octavia, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Jones, can you reread the motion? Or Octavia, can you reread?
Octavia, please reread the motion.
Thank you.
The motion was to move resolution 2021-09 to a work session.
Thank you.
It has been second and we had questions. It's time for the vote. I'm asking for a roll call vote.
Councilman Fry,
Aye.
Councilwoman Griffin,
Aye.
Councilwoman Burrow, Councilwoman Burrow,
Nay.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Nay.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Nay.
Councilman Garrett.
Nay.
What is the vote count?
The vote is 3A and 4 nay.
Okay, the nays have it. It stays on the agenda for tonight. We move to public comments.
Mayor Jones, I would like to amend the agenda.
Okay,
And we do not have on the agenda boards and commission. I'd like to add that at the top of the agenda.
okay. Usually, okay.
Okay.
All in favor to amend the agenda to put boards in commission? Okay, Octavia?
I don't have a second, Mayor.
Okay, you don't have a second.
I'm
Second.
sorry.
Let me. Okay,
I have a question. I had to step out of the room for just a quick second. So the amended agenda, I can't seem to talk. The amended agenda includes what, Mayor?
would you restate your motion, Councilwoman Burrow?
Yes, I'd like to move boards and commissions. It's not on the agenda. I'd like to add it and move it to the top of the agenda.
You mean appointments?
Yes, well, Mayor was gonna appoint somebody to the, today she was supposed to call somebody for the library board. And
Yes, but I didn't call anyone, so I don't have any appointments.
let's have a conversation about it, because I think at the last meeting, you told us that you would call because you wanted her on the board. And so let's have a conversation about it.
I
Can we
did
have
not
that?
say I wanted her on the board. You want her on the board.
Let's do this. Let's do this because we don't need to argue about this. It's easy to fix. We have minutes and we can go back to what was said and what was not said. So let's not argue
I'll
about it.
take you, go back and find the minutes, please, at a later date.
Mayor Jones,
Yes,
if it's a board that you're appointing, why are we debating whether or not that specific thing should be on? Because don't you make the appointment?
It's
the
not a
library
board.
board is a mayoral appointment. I have not talked to anyone due to the election and other things going on. We have a regular board meeting scheduled for April the 27th, and everyone that I need to talk to will be talked to by then and appointed.
Mayor, I'd like to make it a move to add to the agenda, boards and commissions to be added to the agenda, please.
Well,
And so-
and
So do we need a second for that? Is that what we're waiting on, Mayor?
Mr. Garrett already seconded.
I seconded it.
You have
Point
a
of-
motion on the floor to put boards and commission on the agenda tonight, and it been properly second. Are you ready to vote?
point of order.
Any question? Okay, you call for a point of order?
Yes, ma'am. This is Fran. Why are we putting boards and commissions on an agenda? And we're specifically talking about a board that the mayor appoints. And she just got through saying that she has not spoken with everyone.
Do you want me to answer that question,
I mean,
Mayor?
if that, no, I'm not done, actually.
Okay.
If that was, if that was a board or commission or something that needed to be filled by council, then I could see, because, you know, council has the ability to vote on that. But you're talking about adding boards and commissions to an agenda for the sole purpose of making sure that the mayor makes an appointment when she clearly has explained. So I'm just wondering, what's the takeaway with it?
Do you want me to answer the question now? I'll wait till you tell me it's okay for me to answer.
Are you finished, Councilwoman Fran?
Yes.
Okay, Councilwoman Borough.
I want to correct Fran on, that was not the sole purpose. The sole purpose is to have a discussion. And as point of order, that is what the point of order is about. Somebody get the parliamentarian on so they can let her know that. It's for discussion. It's not necessarily for a vote or any such thing. Your point of order means that I can have a discussion. Me asking it to be put on the agenda means that I want to discuss. So you're wrong about that, Fran. That's not my sole purpose.
What
That was
is
the
it?
only purpose that you stated. And so that's the only purpose that was heard during the discussion. And you put the motion out there, and then I put a point of order. And so that's why we're discussing. So, yeah.
Okay, Councilman Fry, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand, if you're a person appointed, then why are we even discussing it? It's like, that's your decision as the mayor. I'm actually just
I
co-signing what,
know it's my decision as the mayor. And we had 4 or 5 people come in for the same interests of the library board. So I've got to talk to all of them,
What
not
we're,
just favor one person. Go ahead.
what this is about amending the agenda. And I'm asking for that to be added. That's what this is about. This should not be about a discussion now. And I have a second thing to amend the agenda on. So if we can get to the vote on this one, so I can get to the second one, please.
You could put all your amendments on one motion.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, so she wants to, it has been properly moved in second to put boards and commission on to amend the agenda to put boards and commission on. Councilman Garrett has seconded. Are you ready for the questions?
Wait for the vote.
Are you ready for the questions? No questions. Are we ready to vote? Octavia, could you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Griffin,
Hey,
Councilwoman Borough,
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
No.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilman Garrett,
Aye.
Councilman Fry,
nay,
What is the vote count, please?
there are 5 ayes and 2 nays.
Okay, the ayes have it. Board of Commissions is on the agenda.
So the next amendment, Mayor Jones.
Wait a minute, Fran, you getting ready to say something?
I was just saying the 5-2 is not correct.
There's a dispute about the roll call vote. What is it, Councilwoman Fran?
I can call it back.
Call the vote back, okay.
it was 4-3.
Councilwoman Griffin, I have that she said A. Councilwoman Borough, I have that she said aye. Councilwoman Robinette, aye. Mayor Jones, nay. Councilwoman Lipka, aye. Councilman Garrett, aye. And Councilman Fry, nay. So do I have someone incorrectly?
Octavia, that would be me, Fran. I said nay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The vote count has been corrected. City Clerk Pittman, would you give us the corrected vote count, please?
So it's 4-3, Mayor.
4-3. Boards and commissioners on. Councilman Burrow, you have another amended agenda.
Item, yes, ma'am, I do. I would like to add to the agenda, the mayor's task force.
Where would you like that to be, under new business or old business?
Immediately on the top, starting at the beginning.
Please explain immediately on the top.
Well, when I said to start at the beginning of the meeting, the first thing on the agenda, that's what I mean.
Okay.
No.
There's a motion on the floor to amend the agenda to put the mayor's task force at the beginning of the agenda.
Second.
It has been seconded by Stephen Garrett. Are you ready for the questions?
What is be considered being new business?
Could you repeat what you said, Councilman?
Wouldn't this be considered being new business?
It should be considered new business because it have not been brought up in a council meeting, a special meeting, but not a council meeting. And it should fall under new business. Okay, Councilwoman Robinette.
So I thought when we left Saturday's meeting that it would fall under special presentation, that you were going to come back to council with some documentation and some understanding that citizens had asked for and that council people had asked for. So I would ask Tony to move it to special presentation if that made more sense for her motion.
Do we have special presentation, and where does that fall?
It's number 4, special presentation.
I can go with that. Octavia, do you need to meet for me to repeat?
You can amend your agenda, your motion.
Octavia,
Yeah, I mean, you can amend it.
we can move it to number 4 and under special. That's fine. Thank you.
Councilman Garrett, do you still second it?
Aye.
Okay, are you ready for the questions? Okay, we're ready to vote. Octavia, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
I'm sorry, I actually mixed up the order. It should have been Councilwoman Burrow first.
Aye.
Okay. I have your vote, Councilwoman Robinette. So Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilman Garrett,
Aye.
Councilman Fry,
Nay.
and Councilwoman Griffin.
Aye.
Could you please give us the vote count?
I have 6 ayes and 1 nay.
Okay, so the mayor's task force will go special presentation. So be it. Any other amendment of the agenda for tonight? If not, we will proceed to public comments. Citizens who were interested in speaking, they were asked to submit their comments via email prior to meeting by Monday, April 19th at 5:00 p.m. Clerk Pittman, do you have any comments? And would you please call the citizens?
Yes, I do. The first person is Annette Jenkins.
Good
Annette
evening.
Jenkins.
I'm here. Good evening, Mayor and the council. The most recent interview of candidates for the city manager was very, very disturbing and disappointment and not well organized. The citizen panel were given the 10 minutes before the process started. That is absolutely ridiculous. 2 of the candidates should have never made the final. It's just like I was told, I've been seeing in the recruiting and hiring. Half of these people shouldn't even make it through the front door. I was also told that certain council members, Linda, Heather, Tony, and of course Garrett, made a decision to hire the casino manager. After he was given a tour of Ferguson, he ran out of Ferguson and said, no, thank you. I know for that if Ferguson was still majority white, the unqualified casino manager would never have been hired. It would never have happened. Heather, Linda, Garrett, and let's not leave Tony out. You all have a reputation for bullying the people and the mayor. I never seen you all bully James, no, never, like you're doing the mayor. It is with good welcome to have 2 new councilwomen who I believe will work with the council and the mayor for the overall of the community. Many of us are aware that Councilwoman Burrows, Councilwoman Robinette, Councilwoman Lippman, we realize the non-working relationship that you have with the mayor. I don't know your heart or your intentions, but I know God do. And for what I see, sincerely, no support, no effort to work with the mayor. What I see is undermining, manipulation, and character assassinate. Consider my thoughts. Concerned citizen, Elder Annette Jenkins.
Thank you, citizen Annette Jenkins. The next person, Ms. Pittman.
Yes, the next person is Adrian Shropshire.
Mr. Shropshire.
Hello, council. Hello, mayor.
Hello.
And I want to give a special thanks. Oh, well, I better do it right. Adrian Shropshire, 709 Forest Avenue, Ferguson, Missouri. I want to give a special thanks to Octavia and her work during these challenging times and during these unconditional times that we have in our city now. Thank you, Octavia. Everything's not going to go right, but thank you for the things that you do to help this city get through the hard times. You're our rock, you're our communicator, and you keep us in line in what we need to do as a citizen and getting our questions in. Sometimes the road might be rocky and not understand, but thank you for explaining. SOP. When I see SOP, I see standard operating procedures. Let the citizens know what it is. I would hope to see respect and candor, which I didn't see at the call meeting. I understand the call meeting, and I could care less about what the issues were. But I do care about how other women address other women. The togetherness and the elasticity of the women that I know would never disrespect another woman in public. Maybe this task force and this special call meeting, does it have a standard operating procedure? I couldn't tell. I understand what it's about, but I don't understand the way it was presented. Tony, why say Councilman Burrow, Tony, and Linda? But I was taught to respect, and it comes from home. And I was taught women are precious and women can lead, but I'm not seeing the consistency with leading with the mayor. You say, but I see no actions. Let me move on. Speeding. I would like to see a unified safety day twice a month where we stop citizens and explain to them safety, not so much writing a ticket. Explain to them we have kids in our neighborhoods and make this a county unified Berkeley, Ferguson, Cool Valley, Delwood, and we all do this. Sure, we might have to write a few tickets if they're going 20 miles over the limit, but let's go up to them with candor, respect, and explain why we're pulling you over, and we're going to give you a warning this time. But explain why. Education goes a long ways. That's what I see on that. And one more thing, and I'm going to end. Council and mayor, I judge you by the content of your character. And that came from a famous person, Dr. Martin Luther King. Thank you, council. Thank you, mayor. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Shropshire.
Okay, the next person is Brian Hamilton.
Mr. Hamilton?
Yeah, this is Brian Hamilton. Just wanted to make a comment about some concerns I have with the possible violation of Missouri sunshine laws. And I think I would recommend to the council that they seek some legal advice, either from the city attorney or from an independent legal source on this issue, so that they would understand their responsibilities if laws were actually broken. Lastly, I'm very concerned with the communication between the mayor and the council. We don't always agree on every single thing, and we don't get every note right, but we need to all be singing from the same sheet of music. And I think everyone in the community would support anyone's effort to make Ferguson a better community, but we're wasting valuable time and resources trying to independently do what we each think is right for Ferguson, time that we could use to work together to strengthen the existing programs that are already in place and to identify new needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton.
Okay, next we have Becky Miller.
Yes, good evening, council members. On behalf of proud people reaching out for unity and diversity, we would like to thank the city for hosting the town hall for the city manager candidates. It is essential that there always is direct community participation in extremely significant decisions affecting our city. Engaging all of the community, allowing us to participate together, is the only way to build trust, compassion, stability, and hope among us. The town hall let us hear directly from the candidates and develop an understanding of ways they might address the issues affecting our community. The candidates' answers gave us insights into varying opinions, outlooks, and new options. The town hall showed respect for the residents of Ferguson. It helped make us informed. It gave us an opportunity to vote and express our opinions. This shared decision-making is the essence of democratic process. And I believe the community's appreciation of the town hall was evident. Considering the short notice and minimal advertising, the event was well attended. The engagement and careful attention to the proceedings was apparent in the number and diversity of opinions. The town hall sparked numerous conversations. And lastly, the eagerness for community participation was especially evident in the in-depth research many attendees took to make careful, authoritative judgments. I believe that the success of this event is apparent and that similar events be made standard practice in the future. Again, thank you for hosting the city manager candidate town hall. On a personal note, we would like to thank our outgoing city council members for their service. We appreciate Council Members Fry's mature advice on several important occasions. We appreciate Councilmember Garrett's seriousness, preparation, and calm demeanor. In particular, his facilitation of the special council meetings regarding SOPs brought a very calm, orderly process to those discussions. Thank you both for your service. We also wish to welcome our new council members, Ms. Phaedra Nelson and Ms. Nikita Noah. Congratulations. Lastly, we congratulate Ms. Burrow on her successful reelection. We wish you all every good blessing and continued service to our city. Sincerely, Becky Miller.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Alan Miller.
Good evening, Council. Councilmember Tony Burrow's special council meeting last Saturday brought several important issues to light. The task force does appear to have major compliance issues with state sunshine laws and alignment with city ordinances. It is my opinion that the task force represents a great advantage for our city and needs to be allowed to continue. However, it needs to be made distinct and independent, not an official government body. It is essential that it continue with its current scope and direction. There are numerous advantages for our city that we cannot achieve otherwise. Ferguson is faced with very serious challenges. We should be welcoming with open arms offers to help with creativity, professional understanding, networking, and financing. Further, we recently approved the Our Ferguson 2040 Master Plan. We need every option available to us to move the master plan from aspiration to implementation. There are many reasons why the task force cannot be merged into existing boards and why an independent task force can provide unique benefits. These include, first, residents can only serve on one board or commission at a time. An independent agency would allow committed residents to participate on this task force while continuing to serve on their current board. Two, our population does not provide the full breadth of knowledge and skills needed to address all of our concerns. This task force provides a large network with specific expertise in each of the task force's areas of focus. Third, boards and commissions are formed for specific purposes with limited scopes. The task force allows us an interdisciplinary, regional, and holistic view. Fourth, the limited scope of our boards and commissions bars them from making collaborations and obtaining funding sources not available to the city. The task force allows flexibility to seek various public and private sources of technical and financial support. The task force should function like any outside consultant, having authority to meet with city staff, but neither direct staff nor have any power outside of advising the city council. Findings and recommendations of the task force should be made through special presentations at council meetings, as is currently practiced for outside consultants. The separation of the task force from the city needs to ensure that its volunteers see their participation as valuable by making it special to list on their resumes, allowing them release time and stipends from their employers, and to ensure opportunities for them to secure new funding sources. The task force presents wonderful opportunities for creative solutions, collaborations, and financial resources that are not otherwise available to our city. We need to find a way to ensure its operations comply with city ordinances while enjoying all the benefits it can provide for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller.
Okay, next is Jerry Knoll.
Thank you, Octavia. Jerry Knoll, 1237 Deer Ridge Drive, here in Ferguson. Madam Mayor and council members and public, I just wanted to alert you all that the Ferguson Civilian Review Board has published their 2020 annual report, and it's been posted to the Civilian Review Board page on the Ferguson City website. You can get to it by under government. The drop-down menu there says Civilian Review Board. You go to the Civilian Review Board page, and the 2020 annual report is there that you can click on. It includes details and analysis and trends in 4 major areas. Our review of 2019 and 2020 citizen complaints against the Ferguson Police Department. Our review of 2018, 2019, and 2020 use of force incidents. 35 plus years of trends on crime statistics for Ferguson, and 20 years of the Missouri Attorney General's traffic stops and racial disparity reports. So that's all included in our 2020 annual report. We also, based on a comment on a town hall we had last Monday, a comment from the public about, well, what about people that don't have internet access to access the report? We've given the Ferguson Public Library some printed copies of the report, so they're available for citizens to check out. And then lastly, Proud, who earlier talked about a public meeting that they had. Proud will be hosting a discussion about the annual report on Tuesday, May 18th at 6:30 p.m., a Zoom public meeting and discussion. Madam Mayor, council members, public, all are invited to it to hear about the report, ask questions, give feedback about it, or comments. All are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knoll.
Okay, and last today is Erica Brooks.
Ms. Brooks?
Good evening. Yes, good evening. And I want to really thank the citizens. Well, first I want to say good evening to the panel, the dais, and everybody in their respective places, and also the community. But I just want to say thank you to the citizens that believed in me during this last election as a candidate for Ferguson City Council in Ward 2. I was a candidate for the reason of gaining representation for our ward, which we have lacked as a result of what we have been witnessing to the lack of communication that's on this dais right now. Because as I look at the verdict from George Floyd and all the injustices that we're encountering throughout this universe, it helps me to understand why I stood up and why I spoke up, to be able to help people understand the value of our lives as Black people and humanity. And it is very essential that everybody on that dais, from the mayor on down to the staff members, get things together, because we as human beings will take out our own selves because we can't find a point of order. And right now, it's too many people wanting to be the chief and not wanting to step in the shoes and do what they need to do in their prospective positions. And so all I'm saying right now is, like I say, for the 193 people that said to me, I believe in you, you can step to the plate and represent us. I want to say thank you to those people and all of the 651 people that did come out. But all I can say is that the people that are on that dais, if you want to represent and love Ferguson like you say you do, you need to get out of your own personal gain and personal privilege and remember the reason why you were elected to be in those positions. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Octavia, do we have anyone else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thus in the public comment section, at this time we have a manager's report. Interim City Manager John Hampton, do you have a report, please?
Mayor and Council, always a pleasure to be here. At this time, I have nothing, Mayor, to add.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the special presentation. And I believe we moved the mayor's task force at this point. And from Saturday, the task force did get together, the communication specialists, and they gathered up all the minutes and the agenda, and they put them in a formal document, and they sent them to Octavia today. In addition to that, the recording of the meeting with interim city manager at that time, Jeffrey Bloom, has been sent to Octavia also, and to be asked to put on the website so everyone can see them.
So Mayor, the question that was posed for this, the question that was posed on Saturday for this today was to get some more understanding of what the, how many, what the subcommittees were and who was on there. So could you tell us, how many subcommittees are there? What were the subcommittees? Is it a subcommittee for housing? Is it a subcommittee? Can you tell us what the subcommittees were and who was on those subcommittees, what they're...
All that information has been sent to
Yep,
Octavia.
but that was what we asked for.
However, if you would like to hear the subcommittees, they came directly from the Ferguson 2040 plan. You have a housing committee, which is Orlando Sharp from Ward 2, James Hurd, Paula Curry, Shirley Emerson from Ward 1, and Monique Abbey, attorney from Ward 1. Jobs and the economy, along with development, transportation, and mobility. Chris Brad from Boeing, and Chris is a woman, not a man. Someone wrote Boeing a letter about, but I'll take that up later. Snooks, Sharon Jackson, Emerson, Kevin Taylor, who is a banker, Joshua Davis, West Florissant Business Association, Rodney Krim from the St. Louis Partnership, Sherrod Truitt, who is an attorney. The next one is education. Dr. Jackie Lewis Harris is from Ward 1. We have Dr. Mark Lombardo from Maryville, Dr. Andrew Brax, education from University of Missouri, St. Louis, Dr. Jack Kirkland from Washington University, Dr. Jerome Morris from University of Missouri, St. Louis, Carolyn Randazzo, a retired teacher, Ward 1, Vince Fruellen, Western University. Environment and Well-Being is Deborah Moore. She's
can you go back to Vince who?
Flew Ellen.
How do you
He's from
spell that?
Webster University. All this information is on the website.
No, I understand that, but I'm just getting it down right now.
Environment and Well-Being in Place, Deborah Moore. Kim Beck. We have Christian Hospital. We have Letitia Moore from Mercy. Larry Limkin, who's a pastor here in Ferguson, and Tony, who is our Hispanic representative. And all of these titles came from the 2040 plan.
What was the name of the last subcommittee you just described?
Environment, Well-Being, and Place.
And I just go back to the fact that, I think these are all valid conversations. I think those are all valid things. I just feel compelled to say that I really feel like there's a lot of people in this community that would have liked to have been included in these conversations, and they were not given the opportunity. And that's where I have an issue, because none of this was made public so that they even had a chance to express their desire to be part of this. And, I know that we have citizens that have made comments during public comments. I never once was disrespectful at all on Saturday. I simply stated my truth, and I stated my stand for my community, and the stand that I have for my community is that any work that we do, that we need to have it completely open. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a special committee. There's nothing wrong with any of that. The thing that I have an issue with is the fact that we were never given the opportunity to work with you. And I know a lot of people like to say that I don't work with you and make it personal between the two of us. We may not agree on things, but I will tell the community, when you and I do get to work together on the few occasions on things that we both really felt good, agreed on, we got a lot done in a short amount of time. And I believe that when I'm not giving the opportunity to work with you, I don't have any opportunities to make an impact alongside you. And I feel that that's the same way for all of the council. So, you know, I think I understand what you've got here, but the 2040 plan was designed for the whole community. It was designed as a holistic look to the future for the whole community. And if you're, you know, kudos to the fact that you took this from the 2040 plan, but this is something that the whole community, including the council members that sit next to you, should have had an opportunity to work with on.
I don't have a problem with your decision. So not all the council have an issue with this.
I didn't say all. I said all should have had an opportunity to work.
Anyone else?
I don't see, this is Tony Burrow. I don't see the collaboration of the council or of the city, the citizens in this plan. And Alan Miller had a lot to say. A lot of it made sense. But this is an indication of what has been happening. And it's an indication, if we continue to let it happen, it will be a situation where only a few, this is a whole community. The people that came to the polls for me want this to stop. I've raised my hand to vow that I would do what is necessary to represent those people that said to me, you got my voice. And I'm not just picking that out the sky, that's what they tell me. I move that we dissolve this task force and that we should look at the 2040 plan that so many put so much time to. So if you just pull the sheets out the 2040 plan, then why do we have all this other? And that's not really a question, that's rhetorical. So please don't try to answer it. I would like to put a motion on the floor to dissolve this task force.
You cannot resolve something the charter has given me the power to have, and that is a special committee. So be it, the name is the task force. That is the power of the mayor to have a special committee. And the name of it is the task force.
When you,
Mayor, I do have to correct you on that. In the charter section 2-31, it does say that the mayor has the ability to create a special task force unless otherwise by the majority of the council. So she does have, according to the charter, the ability to make a motion to do this according to the same section that it gives you the opportunity to create it. So I'm not saying that to be argumentative, I'm just being informative.
It's in the power of the mayor to have a special committee. And the name of the special committee is the task force. Anyone else?
Apollo, I'd like for you to weigh in on that, please.
How did I know you were gonna ask me that? So my reading of that language does not allow for the council to.
I can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah.
Reading of the language pointed out by Councilwoman Lipka does not allow for the council to dissolve or to abolish a special committee that is appointed by the mayor. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a circular argument, right? Because if the mayor has the power to do it and the council dissolves it, then the mayor can just reappoint it, you know, in 5 minutes, you know, that kind of thing. So what the council can do is try to change the language that allows the mayor to appoint the special committee to be subject to the approval of the council. But that's not how that language, what my reading of that language does. So at this point, I don't see that the council has the power to abolish the task force.
So Apollo, when I read it, it says method of appointment. It says section 2-31 special committees. Method of appointment. All special committees shall be appointed by the mayor unless otherwise ordered by a majority of the council. You're on mute.
Sorry. And I think what that speaks to the appointment, right? So I think the majority of the council can also appoint a special committee. I think that what that does is that gives the majority of the council the ability to appoint a special committee, but it does not give the council the right to take away the mayor's or to abolish a council or a special committee that the mayor creates. That's my reading of that.
Heather?
So when we discussed this on Saturday, you know, we were looking to you to come back to us with, because we had no input to who was appointed or to who was part of this task force. So it wasn't council, you know, blessed. I want to make sure too, that if there are violations of sunshine law, that we as council aren't culpable for those violations. And so Attorney Carey, can you speak to that?
Sure. Any special committee, whether you call it what you want, it's a special. If it's a special committee, it's a special committee. All committees are subject to the Missouri Sunshine Law. They've got to post agendas. They've got to take minutes. They have to have, you know, they're subject to the open and closed, provisions of the Sunshine Law. And so, I have not, not been asked to attend any of these meetings. So I have no knowledge as to how they're operating, but they must operate consistent with the Sunshine Law. So anybody who has mentioned or said that is absolutely correct. And so the same way we have, when we run a council meeting, the thing that we are doing is trying to be consistent with the Sunshine Law in terms of the timing of the posting of the agenda, in terms of the information that is on the agenda, all that stuff. Any committee, a commission, board of the city is a board or committee or commission of a public entity. And because of that, they're subject to those same requirements.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we brought up all the agenda and minutes and recordings and sent them over to Octavia. There's one meeting that we was using, I think it's Blue Jean, and it was messed up, but they do have the minutes as everyone just introducing themselves.
I got a question for you, Mayor. When we were at Forest Wood, where the Chairman Don was there, I asked a specific question of you. I asked you, which was it? I said, is this a mayor's task force or is this a committee? You said, and I quote, it's both.
It's a special committee that's named task force.
But you didn't, that's a cute smile you got, but you didn't say it was named the task force. I said, what is it? You never did say it was a name. You said it was both. And that's what threw me when you said it was a task force and not a special committee or a committee. Now, I would like to ask for the parliamentarian in the House, and I think that's you, Apollo, because I'm thinking what we're going to have to do is override the parliamentarian rule here of the chair, which is Ella. So do you want a moment to look at that, Apollo? Because the council can do that.
Sorry, what are you?
I can't hear you.
Know that I understand what you're asking.
I'm asking for the council, the those that would vote that we dissolve this task force. That means that the parliamentarian can override the chair with a majority vote. Even with what we just read out of the charter, the parliamentarian can override that. If you want to take a minute, and I know that's something that's not usually done.
Well, I mean, certainly parliamentary procedure is one thing, but you know, the law is another thing. And
right.
You know, if the ordinance, the ordinance does not, or the charter does not give you the power to do what it is you're wanting to do. It just doesn't. But likewise, the mayor can't stop you either. Like if you want to appoint a special committee, by that language read by Councilwoman Lipka, she couldn't abolish your special committee either. That language only deals with the appointment of the special committee. It does not deal with the abolishment of the special committee. That is a charter amendment, and you have to amend the charter in order to do so. So in my opinion, it wouldn't necessarily matter, the parliamentary procedure wouldn't matter, because you can't violate the charter through parliamentary procedure.
Exactly. So what we have here then is quite a catch-22. Do you agree?
To the extent that the idea is to abolish the power of the, or to abolish the special committee that was created by the mayor, I don't necessarily know that it's a catch-22. I just think it's something that the power is just not there to do it. It doesn't speak to, the charter does not speak to the council's power to do something like that. And specifically when the charter gives a particular power to a particular entity like the mayor or to the council, the charter is attempting to do something specific. So I don't know that I would say catch-22. I would just say, I think the thought is you guys trying to do something that you don't have the power to do per my reading of the charter.
Can I ask a question too? Then, when you go through this, what is your definition of the word unless? I mean, because, when it says all special committees shall be appointed by the mayor unless otherwise ordered by a majority of the council.
Yeah.
That, to me, that is a word that gives a secondary consideration. It gives a reversal unless otherwise ordered by the majority of the council.
Yeah. Well, so I read that in context of the entire provision, which deals with the appointment of the special committee, right? So that first part of the sentence gives the mayor the power to appoint all special committees, unless a special committee is appointed by a majority of the council. That's my interpretation of that. So in the event that, the mayor doesn't want or doesn't necessarily believe she should appoint a special committee, that language gives the majority of the council the right to do it over the mayor's objection.
Fran?
You don't have to agree with it. I mean, that's my legal, that's my legal background, and my legal training tells me that that's how that should be. But of course, you guys are free to do whatever you decide you want to do. But I just wanted to make sure my, advice was on the record.
Councilwoman Fran? I can't see
So
you.
So I appreciate, thank you, Apollo. I appreciate you for giving that explanation because that's the answer. I was actually looking for an answer to that very same question in terms of the appointment power. And specifically that wordage I had a question about too, because I read it the same exact way you read it. And so that leaves me to, once again, here we are saying that we want to work together. We're saying that we want to work together, but our actions are showing otherwise. And so it's very apparent to me what's going on. If the intent is to correct the problem, I know we specifically talked about what we would like to have received by today. We talked about that. If the intent is to correct the problem, then we talked about wordage and transparency. If the intent is to correct the problem, and I'm not speaking for Councilwoman Burrows, because I understand her intent is to abolish it because whatever her reasons are. I understand that. I'm actually speaking to everyone who just recently, talked about what it is that is our problem with this particular thing and what needs to be done to address it. And so that's where my interest lies in terms of how we move forward. I want to be able to correct the issue. I also want to be able to give the mayor the space to do what it is that she needs to do to get the information so she can present it to us. So we'll know what it is. And then we can work throughout that process. But again, I just can't emphasize like this. I see this all the time. We talk about us working together, but then we're like, nope, we're not going to do it. And that part to me is frustrating because when it comes down to different other conversations that we want to have, if you all simply don't want to have it, it's just not going to be had. And so to me, that whole, we want to work together, if that's what you mean, then stand on that. Don't just use the words because it sounds nice coming out of your mouth. Actually implement that. And that's everyone. That is each and every last one of us.
Attorney Paulo.
I have a question, Ella. I've been having my hand up for a while.
Robinette, then Byron had his hand up, then Councilwoman Borough, in that order.
Yeah, I just wanted to address one more.
I'll come back.
One thing that Councilwoman Lipka, just before we move on from that point, I had mentioned earlier before that interpret that language in a way that allows for the abolishment of a committee created. First, the language is, or the language you're reading is entitled Method of Appointment. So I think it's specifically dealing with appointment. And if you read it to then be able to, as a sort of a language that deals with both appointment and abolishment, that's when you get into the circular argument that I mentioned earlier before, right? Because if the mayor has the right to appoint, then otherwise ordered by the council, if you read it that then the council has the power to abolish, then you just get into this circular thing where the mayor can just appoint the task force again, and then the council can then just, so there's just this circular thing that continues to happen, and the power is still there to do it. So that is why I read that language specifically to deal with just the appointment and not necessarily the abolishment. I just wanted to underline, because I know I mentioned that earlier before, earlier when we talked about it, but I wanted to highlight that again. I'm done, sorry.
Okay. Byron is gone.
No, Byron's still here. Byron multitasks. When it's all said and done, this is the last hour. Let the new council make these decisions, not the old council, the new council. It's not fair to them at all. Make all these decisions right before they get sworn in. That's totally unfair. They were elected by the people of Ferguson. Let them make those decisions for the people of Ferguson. The people of Ferguson have spoken, and let them have the opportunity to speak for people who voted them in. That's just plain and simple. Fair is fair. This is going back and forth. It's not doing anything. Period. This is old, it's tired, and it's a done deal. Get over it. Life goes on. Thank you.
Councilwoman Robinette.
So, Mayor Jones, you know, I'm not confrontational with you. I speak my mind. And I think I spoke my mind Saturday morning when we were talking about parts of the language in the task force that probably needed to be changed. And I didn't hear that they're going to be changed tonight, or that that's something that you're looking at, but where it says the board roles, we need to make sure that the language doesn't give authority to the task force, that they will be some like an entity coming in as a consultant, giving special presentations to council, and that's what we'll listen to and actually, you know, like listen to and adopt. So I think that my biggest contention in what's part of what's written there is under board roles, and number 3 specifically, develop actionable implementable plans that may be employed by the city and the task force. So I don't think that the task force should be allowed to direct city staff or direct anything before it comes before council. And I would ask that, again, I'm not trying to. Okay.
Change the language.
So that's where I want to get. I want to make sure that the language that you have in this task force makes sense, and it's not going against council or going against any board or commission. I'm giving you the opportunity again to make sure that that's right.
Well, we will go over this, redline it, and bring it back for you all to see again, okay? They were reading it, and they do understand about board, and they were using the board and committee interchangeably, and sometimes people do that. So they are looking at this document and going to revamp it.
Okay, I was hoping we would have that tonight, that the language difference in the task force, but if you're gonna bring that soon, great.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
Mayor, may I speak, or am I out of line? Or can I speak now?
I don't know who it was Tony. It's Tony time, and then we could come back to you.
Okay.
Thank you. And I do know this process. And for some of you that don't like what I know, this is what I do. So I know this process. And I will say to those of you that don't get why I'm so adamant about this, it's because when you've been lied to and the trust is not there, and you can make decisions get turned around on this council. I don't go along to get along. And I think everybody knows that. I can name at least 5 times in the last 3 years that things have been said one way from the chair and one way from the city manager, and it did not go that way. And it was like, oops, this is not an oops game. And Apollo, I appreciate you for what you do, but what you're saying is misleading, and I know that for a fact. And I appreciate you weighing in. And yes, this could be a debate like Byron is saying, it could go on and on. But what Ella has done is that she muted my motion. I happen to know for a fact the language that we got here in this city, that we can override that. because when Ellen forbid my motion, then what that does is that makes me able to say, I overrule the chair. And if I've got the amount of votes to do that, I'm sorry, go ahead. So you look like you want to correct me. I'll stop for that moment. Go ahead.
No, I heard you say what I said was misleading, and I want.
I mean, for me.
Well, but I just want to make clear that I'm just giving you advice. You don't have to follow.
Thank you.
It's,
Okay.
it's simply just a legal analysis.
I appreciate that.
Anybody, I'm just telling you what I think the language says. I'm not trying to be misleading at all. So I just took issue with that because that's not.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do.
No, I agree with you on that. It's misleading for me because if I was sitting back not knowing what I know, then I'd be thinking that I don't have the right to go forward. When I looked at the document as it was presented, there's so much in there that what it does is it makes this city not need a council. If you give all these outside folks that, don't shake your head, Ella, because if you read it and you read it correctly, anybody with any common sense, if you read that document at any moment, then that document can be perceived as you don't need a council, you don't need a city manager. The city is run by a city manager. That documents allow freedom to. And if we're dealing with a person that one day they'll say one thing and the next day it's another, you be very cautious. That's where I am with this council. You got to be very cautious because one day it'll be, oh, it's both. And then the next day, oh no, it's just a name. I have to make sure that the people that I am representing, that I look at this document, just like Heather saw, and just like anybody else with some common sense would look at it and say, oh, what does that mean? So we could play this game all night long, overriding you because that's my prerogative to do. That's this council's prerogative to do. I don't have the trust because I've seen too much, and it has come down the pike that it's not true, and we go through this, and then it's just an oops. So I just want everybody to know we can override. I can say that the motion, the forbidding of the motion, we can override the chair. And I think that at this point, we need to have some outside advice as to, do we want outsiders running this city and we not know? And just like you just said to Heather, oh, we're going to go over this and then we'll get it back to you. Are you kidding me? We are the people here. We are the folks sitting at this council that folks like I'm just going to use you, Mildred, for a moment. I think Mildred is great at what she does. And we represent her. We represent the folks that are in this city expecting for us to do the best that we can. And so we represent Stephen. I represent me. And if I know better, shame on me. If a year from now we say, well, you should have said something back on that night, or you should, what I was expecting tonight from what you said on Saturday, that you were going to take a look at what you were doing and what that document said. And the questions that we asked on Saturday, you didn't have the answers. And you leading this show. I mean, I'm gonna use that word. You leading this team, and you didn't have the answers that we were asking for. I understand. I surround myself with people that's smarter than me too. I get it. But some of these things, what you just said frightens me. You're going to go back and have somebody else to tell us, and we have no involvement. I don't know if anybody on this call, on this council, that had any involvement with this at all, but you're going to bring it back to us. We're supposed to be the ones that folks went to the poll for, to say, I want you to lead this city for us. That's disconcerting to me. And I personally, now, if we want to play the dog and pony show, I could play this dog and pony show all night long. This is what they do. And when they're up in DC, when they're up in Jefferson City and Springfield, this is how it works. I don't have time for that. I don't have the inclination. I don't have the patience for it. But I just want to let you know, all of us here don't trust what has not been proven to be trusted. And it has not been that way on this team. And so If we want to dissolve, we can play the dissolve game all night. Expect to hear back from me. If you guys want to continue this, we can play the game. If you don't, then look for me to go further with some of these things that I know that are not proper.
Fran, you had your hand up.
Actually, Linda was before me.
Oh, okay.
So
I can't see hands. I'm just going by what's being, go ahead.
it might only be on Octavia's end since she's the host. I don't know. So my concern is the document as it stands. That's my concern. And I appreciate the fact that you said you are going to sit down and rework it and redline it and represent it. If that is the case, are you willing to stop the process of the task force as it relates to this summary and just put it on pause until that is done? Are you willing to just put a brakes on it, put it on pause, rework this, present it to the council, and then once it's agreed upon, go ahead and move forward at that point so that there's some input that people can, you can present it back to the council and, say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We took your considerations into consideration. We're going to go ahead and take that input and do these things. And then so the question is probably two-part. Would you be willing to put it on pause? And would you be willing to accept input from council members once it is represented?
To be honest with you, this is a document that is working. I will look at it and redline it and get it back to you. Right now, the subcommittee they have finished. So the only thing was left for us to meet on the 29th and have a town hall, but we canceled that. So that'll give me time to look at it and redline it. That's the only thing I could do. Asking them to stop, they already done stopped because they are waiting on a meeting to come together. But I want to ask a question. Why are so many people so afraid of this task force and so focused on it when there is so much to be done in Ferguson other than everybody pouring their energy right here?
I can answer, Ella, we're not afraid of the document. It's the person behind the document. We've seen too much. And like I said, I can name those things that we can't trust. And so we have to be sure, not just for ourselves, but for the people that we represent. And I've said that over and over again here tonight. So that question has already been answered. There is a distrust here that when things happen, they happen like, oh, oops, and no regard for what should have happened or what you said was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it's not happening. And no collaboration was the main thing. Nobody, this was a secret for the longest time.
It wasn't a secret. It was not a secret.
Okay, let me say this. When I found out about it, I thought it was me because I had COVID and I had a temperature 105. I couldn't get it. I was on the call, but I didn't understand it. I was sick. It was the first time I'd heard about it. Nobody on the council had heard about it that I know of. Everybody was shocked. You had all these people lined up doing jobs and none of us knew about it. So that means this city had a force that was working. And you just said you can't stop them because you were just asked to halt it, to pause it.
They already halted because they finished their subcommittee work and they're waiting to get back together as a group and we were gonna do it on the 29th. And
Linda just asked you to halt it. She just asked you to halt it, and you said you can't do it. You be honest with us, and that they've already halted, but they've already done the work. When you can't stop something that you've started, that's frightening. That's real frightening. When your team is telling you, hey, we're not getting this. We're not getting this real well. That right there should have been enough. When this team said to you, we got a concern, and it's deep, that should have been enough. The leader in you should have said, hey, let's stop the train. And you didn't. So that caused me pause. It caused these other folks pause. We wouldn't be sitting here right now if we weren't concerned. We'd be saying, next, what's next on the agenda? So when you ask that question, you don't get it. Yeah, that's frightening.
I get it quite well. I get it quite well.
Okay,
They
you asked the
already
question.
paused, so go back and pause them twice. There's no need to go back and pause them twice. They already paused.
But then I don't think you understand what Linda was
I do
talking
understand everything you say.
No, what Linda said. What Linda said.
Oh, Fran, you had your hand up, or whoever had their hand up. If not, we'll move on.
Well, I was just going to, so that when we had the special meeting, I asked the question then when Linda first said, or don't get me quoted, it was either Linda or Miss Tony had stated that they wanted to have a report by the first meeting. I asked the question then, why don't we ask the mayor what she can provide to us by that date? Because I did not want us to end in a situation where something like the language needed to be addressed, but had not been done, and then we weren't satisfied with what she would give us. That's why I asked that question, because I was looking to see what she could, within the time frame that we were limiting her or that we were giving her, to come back and report to us what she would be able to provide. And so that was the reason for my question, because now we're at a place where we're talking about language and we're hearing that she's got a subcommittee. We're asking if we can pause, but then we're also asking if we can get some more information. So to me, it's like we're asking, well, let me clarify. We're asking that we get the language clear. So are we asking for a pause while we get the language clear? Are we asking for a pause period until what you believe the council should be deciding on, which I want to reiterate, the mayor has the power to be able to do this. So I would suggest, if there's, everyone has looked at the language at this point in time. Everyone knows, what input they want to have into that. Without trying to look over or look under or look around what she has the power to create, why don't we send in the input to her, let her take it to the subcommittee, let them do what they need to do as far as changing the language, and then that way you don't have to wait until she comes back to say, oh, well, we like this, but we don't like that. Send it to her now so that information can go to the subcommittee and they can consider it, they can look at it, they can fix the language. If we're doing this again with the intent to correct the issue, then that would be my suggestion, to save time and to be able to get everyone's input. But again, that process is totally up to the mayor as to how she receives the information. It's totally up to her. And so, I'm just trying to be productive versus let's come to what needs to be done. Let's be specific, and let's not cross over ourselves with what our ask is specifically.
Okay, Linda is next, then Heather, and then we're going to move on because it's almost 9 o'clock and we still have another meeting to do, plus other items on the agenda.
I don't think that you can see that Stephen's hand has been up for a very long time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Stevens
okay,
before,
then I
Stevens
can't
before
see
me.
hands. I'm going on
That's
what
fine.
Octavia is telling me. Okay, here's Stephen, come on.
Yeah, no problem. I'll go quick. This isn't an issue of fear of what the task force is an entity. That's not the issue at all. It's actually really wonderful what you've done and assembled people to do the work. The issue is in the language that is on our site, which is treated as the performative document, specifically Role 3, which is circumventing the council and the voice of the people to give the task force direct employment of plans along with the city. So essentially the ability to instruct city staff. That is the language issue on that document that needs to be adjusted. Also, the agenda is not being published 24 hours in advance on the city site. And then the meetings minutes just now coming in to where we are probably outside of sunshine law requests if we have those already for those meeting minutes. That's the problem. And that's where the city itself as an entity can get into real trouble. And that's just watching everybody's backs.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
I do understand. Okay,
Okay, I do think it's my turn now. So I will say, I appreciate, I hear you, Fran, when you were saying, and I went back and watched the video again, and you did definitely make that request, let's let her have some time. But what I would counter you with is that this has, for at least, it started in June of 2020. It was presented with a complete board, complete set of advisors, a complete group of citizens that had been appointed to this in September, which was the first time we heard about it. So that was 4 months. And then from September, when it was presented to us, to now, that's been 8 months. So, if the subcommittee started as soon as it was created, then they've been working anywhere between now and 12 months. If they started after the presentation in September, they've been in session for 8 months. And so I'm going by the calendar, Ella. I'm just going by the calendar. And unfortunately, I can't even know I'm wrong because I don't even know what's right. That's the problem. And you're absolutely right, Ella. This is all good work. And that's why the 2040 plan was designed. And that's why we have all of the council members and so forth. There's no fear here. I want to be on board with this. I've got great ideas. I want to share my freaking ideas with you. I want to share the concepts of things I could add to the education part, to the sustainability part. There's so many things, but I wasn't given the opportunity. And I'm not mad about what you're doing. I'm mad about the way it was done. I'm mad about the fact that it was specifically eliminated so many voices. I'm mad about the fact that there's no sunshine laws followed whatsoever. And I don't even want to I shouldn't even say the word mad. It's not mad. I'm not mad. I'm really disappointed. And I want to be part of this. I want to have my community, the whole community involved in this. I want opportunities for them to put their names on a request or fill out an application to be picked to be on these things. They weren't given that. And you may have the right to not give it to them, but I think that's awful. And I don't think what you're doing is wrong. I think what you're doing, what the vision you have, you're not the only one that has that vision. Obviously, you found people that to have the same vision, but there's a whole lot of us. That's why we ran for office. So I am asking you to just include and take into consideration and respect the fact that there's people out there that have a voice, that have contributions to offer, and put this on hold, pause it, stop the committees, stop this. Make your focus rewriting this summary. Make your focus rewriting this summary, present it, represent it, and ask for our opinions. You don't have to, obviously you don't, and you may not, but I would ask you, I would implore you to rewrite this, ask for the input of your city council members, and get everybody on board, and then unpause and go back with what your task force has created, and don't make it a final report. Make it a first report, because then the opportunity allows itself to add people, add voices to what's been designed, and people can say, oh yeah, you're right, I saw that, or I could do this, or let me do that, or whatever. Just, that's what I'm asking right now. And if you cannot say that, then I'm concerned. If you cannot agree to that, that really concerns me.
Did anyone else have their hand up after Linda? Okay, Heather.
So a lot of what Linda just said is what I would say, but I would use fewer words. Sorry, Linda.
Okay.
I just had to inject some humor. But I think the big concern is that we as council members who have tried to support you as mayor have been left out of this process, and we're looking for a way for you to figure out how to bring us all together. And as we bring in new council members, that's going to be even more important. So however this task force was initially put together, I think this is a great time to figure out how to bring us all in and solicit our opinions, because we want you to succeed, Mayor Jones. We do. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
So my question remains, can you put this on pause? Can you put your committees on hold? And can you make a priority out of this language that you said you guys were going to be reworking, and and go ahead and make that the priority so that we can hear what you guys rework?
Yes, that can be done, Linda. That can be done. Yeah, that can be done. So that's no problem. And within a day or so, I'll be calling several of the council members and see when they would like to get together and work this.
Several or all?
The whole thing here, Ella, is about including all of these, every council member. That's I think is what's missing in this piece. We're a whole team. We're one. If we can't operate as one, we're back to the drawing board.
May I add that this was a special committee that the mayor added. So yes, we do make decisions as council, and yes, the mayor gets a vote, but in this particular situation, and I know you guys find it really hard to accept. I know you find it really hard to accept, but I really, really need everyone to really just grasp this one little bit. And that is, she has the ability to create a special committee. Would it be nice for us to be able to have input? Yes. We've talked about different ways that can go. We've talked about different ways that that input has been collected. However, when she says, I will reach out to council members, I want us to still have the understanding. I really need us to still have the understanding that this is a mayor created special committee. So the goal, yes, is to be inclusional, but I need us to understand clearly what this special committee is.
Then, Fran, if you really are serious about inclusivity, then you don't do a few. If you're talking about inclusivity, then you're talking about all. And this goes back to a year ago when I kept saying, this is not inclusive, it's exclusive. And when you look at those words that were just said, look at exclusive, not inclusivity, because that is not inclusivity. And I understand what that language means. Trust me, words I know, and everybody on this Zoom call, no words. We're mostly words and picture people. But the bottom line is, when you don't speak what you mean, then you leave it up to assumption. And when you do or don't do what you say you're going to do, that's proof of what you will or will not do. That's the situation here.
Right.
Inclusivity, yes, include everybody. And
Right.
whether it's your right, whether you have a position, leaders know how to include people. That's what leaders do.
Let me clarify what I'm saying. So, because I don't want you to go down a rabbit hole. My
Don't
reason,
worry, I'm not
my
going there.
reason, my
I'm
reason
not
for
going down a
saying
rabbit
that,
hole.
my reason for saying that, because clearly you did not understand what I was saying. My reason for saying that is because Byron is not, he's already told us where he stands. So that was my reason for saying that. He told us he did not have a problem. So I was actually including everybody by listening to what everybody was saying. Thank you.
Yes, I know. And all inclusive. Okay.
All inclusive what?
You say you want everybody included. And I
Okay,
said
but
all inclusive.
you know that'll mean something else tomorrow. If you're gonna say something, go ahead and give me a
Well,
sentence.
see, that's the problem. You don't trust me. And if I say something,
But there's a reason.
always
I've got reason.
contradicted. So why would you want to be included in something with a person that you claim you don't trust? Or that one time I say something and it means something else and it means something else. I'm not getting the scope of you always want to be critical of me.
I can give
you
you that.
want to work with me, but yet you saying you don't trust me. But when I say all inclusive, that's what the conversation was about.
Well, give me the sentence. If all this conversation you just gave me just now, and all you had to do was give me that, because let me tell you now, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can tell you right now on this Zoom call the reason why, and you know that. So the bottom line is I'm within reason for where I am. I'm within reason. And so all I'm saying is clarify. Okay, inclusive. What does that mean for me? That's all I'm asking you. What does that mean? It's a sentence if that's what you got it in.
All inclusive to the point that, as Linda said, want to work on the language of the document, including everyone.
Thank you.
So thank you. What I was looking for is the fact that I would like to have an opportunity that when you said that you would reach out to some of the council, I would just like to ask that you reach out to all of the council members, because the only way we're going to get past anything that we currently are struggling with is to step up and speak up to each other. So, you know, I would love to have that conversation with you. I would love to share some ideas with you. I would love that opportunity. That's what I'm asking for. And I would then go the next step to say, I ask for that same opportunity for the citizens of Ferguson who want to be included.
Can we please move on?
Okay.
I mean, you actually broke the record.
All inclusive. That's no problem. That's no problem. Okay. Can we move on?
Thank you.
Okay, we move into the consent agenda. It's city council meeting minutes, special meeting minutes, March the 9th, council meeting minutes, March the 9th, special meeting minutes, March the 20th, special meeting minutes, March the 23rd, council meeting minutes, March the 23rd, special meeting minutes, March the 27th. Do you have any corrections for the city council meeting minutes? If none, I request a motion and a second to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilman Byron Fry, second by Councilman Garrett. Are you ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Boards and commission meetings. CRB 3/121, senior commissions 1/16/20, 2/27/20, 9/17/20, 10/15/20, 11/19/20. I request a motion and a second to receive and file the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. We at the point now where we're gonna put boards in commission. That was an agenda amendment.
I am looking to find out when we will be able to appoint citizens, because I'm getting calls almost daily. When can we appoint citizens that have put their applications in and they've been told that we're ready to do it, we want to fill these boards and commissions, but they're standing there waiting for weeks, and in some cases months, not been told whether they're going to get on the council or not. And we have boards that, I think the only one that's probably complete, Byron, you tell me if this is true, is the one that you're on. Byron, is yours complete yet?
Yes.
Okay, so, and that's great, because I really wanted the one that Byron is on to be complete before June 19th. So, but we have the library board that we're trying to get completed for 2+2, the education piece. We need that completed right away. And if we don't have that completed, I have got a couple of people that I'm supposed to have meetings with tomorrow, and I don't have that board full yet. So there are other boards. I'm still waiting on to do the economic development. I got people waiting in line to be on that board. So Ella, I really need to probably sit down with you and say, hey, look, and you and I talked about this privately, that we could sit down and talk about these boards. You were going to put some people together. I had some people, and it's getting to the point where it's almost summertime. It's almost time to put these kids in camp. And I've got some other things going for kids that are having some special issues. And it's hard and all the school teachers on this call understand, kids that have IEPs, we got to get those kids straightened out quick. And it's almost May, and I don't have them in place.
Are you referring to the library board appointment?
Yes, I gotta have that one done. I hope to had it done by tomorrow. My meeting is tomorrow with that, but I'm not gonna be able to do it. And last night we talked about some of this 2+2, and I'm supposed to have meetings with Joe Davis and a couple of other people. So it is getting, for me, it's getting to the wire, because I have some people that are interested in doing some tutoring for the summer. We have kids that are reading 2 and 3 grade levels. And I've got, this is not something I'm just saying, I've got data on this, and we need some kids with math. I've got people on this phone call that has said on a Zoom call that they will come and help, but I have to have the boards and commission things done in order to go further. And I've got people that's gonna put money on this, that's ready to do grants. I got checks I can't even cash because I don't have people in place. So I don't want you to think I'm just trying to push you to do something, but we've got kids that there's gonna be a spell between the time they get out of school and the time summer school start. They've already been in isolation. Ella, you know this is my heart. This is what I do. I got volunteers that's willing to do it, but I don't have people. And we got kids that are threatening suicide. I need these kids to be in place. I just got to tell you, that's where I am. And it looks like I'm losing volunteers because I don't have it together. I don't have the boards and commission of the people who are standing there saying, yes, I'll do it.
Well, the vacancies can be filled on the 27th. Some people are terming out, and those cannot be filled until what, June, sometime the 1st of June, when we do reappointments and people terming out. But the vacancies will be filled on the 27th, or we could do it before then.
Let's do it before then, just for the ones that, so we can put these folks that got kids, that the ones that are, I think, more geared to what we're going to be doing for summer school, and the kids that are going to be out with nowhere to go and nothing to do. If we can get that done, I can appreciate that. And that's only two that I need done. And if I can do that, I can tell my meeting for tomorrow that it's in the works, it's going to happen. Bam. We can talk after this, or we can talk tomorrow morning.
I will make the appointments to the vacancies on the 27th because there are still a couple of outstanding applications. What I'm looking at now is 5 of them that come in. Parks boards come in, FNIP come in, several people come in for the library. So the 27th.
We only got one space for the library.
Yes, I know it's only one space, but I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity
Oh,
to.
yeah, okay. I didn't know how many people are on there. Can you tell me how many people are there?
4.
Okay.
So let me ask this question, and I'm a little concerned here because the person that requested to be on the library board, that application came in a long time ago. And it was an application that was to be reappointed. She had to step down for a little while, and now she was able to come back. It was originally her position. It stayed empty while she was not in it. And then the reason it's vacant is because she had to step down for a moment. Now she has to be put back in place. That's the only reason the position was an open position. So we've waited 3 council meetings. You've said on 3 occasions that you were going to look into it. You're going to look into it. You're going to look into it. Now you're saying that you have other people that want that position, when I think in all fairness, it was simply a matter of just appointing her back into the position. It was hers to begin with, and just putting her back in there. The only reason, I mean, we're playing a waiting game here is what it looks like to me. And I don't think that's appropriate. And especially when you personally gave your word on 3 occasions that you would have it done by the next meeting, and then it didn't, and then it would be the next meeting. And you said the last meeting, on no uncertain terms, you would have it done. And now you're saying you didn't get it done again because of the election. So, you know, you're not, I know you are a multitasker. So you're not a one mission person. So I really don't, that doesn't hold a lot of water. I would say at this point, we've made this person wait. This was their position to begin with. I would ask that you just go ahead and appoint her to that position and let her get back to work, because this something that she truly loves. She thought she was moving. She's not moving. Put her back on.
The reason was family illness, close to death, and also COVID and things like that. That's why she had to step down to take care of her family. And all of us know about that.
And the very next day, a couple of other applications came in.
They did not come in the very next day when she first asked to be on there.
No, that didn't happen.
Can we move on?
No, we cannot. We're still talking. So I would ask, Mayor, that you would just go ahead and please make the appointment of that person to the library board.
I will make the appointment on the 27th.
No, I'm asking you to fulfill your word that you gave us on 2 occasions to make the appointment of the young lady I'm referring to tonight to the library board.
On the 27th.
Wow.
This is why we have issues. All right.
Sad.
Who's saying sad?
I'm sorry. I thought it was on you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a proclamation for Arbor Day. And the proclamation reads, Arbor Day, April 22nd, 2021. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this special day, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, can cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic volatility of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas Ferguson has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting ways. Now, therefore, I, Ella Jones, Mayor of the City of Ferguson, Missouri, do hereby proclaim Thursday, April 22nd, 2021 to be Arbor Day in the City of Ferguson, Missouri, and urge all citizens of Ferguson to support the efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, to support our city urban forestry program, and to plant trees to promote the well-being of present and future generation. Proclaim this 20th day on April 2021. The next item is resolution number 2021-8. Without objection, we're introduced by council members present. Attorney Carey, to please read the resolution.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution number 2021-08, a resolution endorsing the new Ferguson community branding.
Interim City Manager Hampton, please explain.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor and Council, staff is asking for approval of the passage of this resolution. This will allow us to start moving forward and implementing the rebranding of Ferguson. So staff is asking for your approval.
Okay. I need a motion and a second for approval.
So
So
moved.
move.
Second.
Stephen, go ahead.
So moved.
Yes, Stephen, you worked on this project.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate all of the time and effort you put in this project. So it was moved by Stephen Garrett, second by
Byron.
Fry. Clerk Pittman, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Highlight of my night. Yes, aye.
Councilman Garrett,
Aye.
Councilman Fry,
Aye.
Councilwoman Griffin,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Burrow.
Resolution number 2021-08 passes. Resolution number 2021-9. Without objection, we're introduced by council members present. Attorney Carey, could you please read the resolution?
Ma'am, resolution number 2021-9, a resolution adopting the code of conduct for elected officials as the standard operating procedures for the City of Ferguson Council, for the City Council of the City of Ferguson, Missouri, governing the council's interactions amongst each other, with city staff, and with the public.
Interim City Manager, please explain.
Yes, Mayor, Council, I have nothing on this. I will leave it up to council.
Okay. I will entertain a motion and a second for approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved by Councilwoman Linda and second by Councilwoman Tony. Clerk Pittman, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Yes.
Councilman Garrett,
Aye.
Councilman Fry,
Nay.
Councilwoman Griffin,
Aye.
Councilwoman Burrow,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Robinette.
Aye.
What is the vote count?
I have 6 ayes and 1 nay.
Okay. Resolution number 2021-9 passes. Bill requiring first reading, bill number 7205. Without objection, we introduced by
Mayor,
council.
Mayor,
Yes.
that's a bill for second reading. We don't have a bill for first reading, Mayor. Bill 7205 is second reading.
Mayor, this is acting city manager. I just noticed there is a mistake there. That is for only second reading.
Okay. Bill number 7205, request a motion a second to read the bill a second time and place upon its passage.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. Attorney Carey, would you please read the bill?
Yes, ma'am. Bill number 7205, an ordinance of the city of Ferguson, Missouri, granting a special use permit to Manisha Barnes, doing business as Bling Beauty Bar for the purpose of operating a beauty salon at 102 South Florissant Road, subject to the conditions, restrictions, and requirements set forth herein.
Interim City Manager Hampton, do you have anything else to add?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Council members, do you have anything else to add? Any questions? If
No, ma'am,
not,
my questions were answered during the public hearing.
Clerk Pittman, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
Councilman Garrett,
Aye.
Councilman Fry,
Aye.
Councilwoman Griffin,
Aye.
Councilwoman Burrow,
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones.
Aye. Bill number 7205 passes. Certification of April 6 general municipal election results. Clerk Pittman, could you please read the election results?
Yes, so the results were certified by the St. Louis County Election Board. For the position of Council Ward 1, Phaedra Nelson, 443 votes, Stephen Garrett, 369 votes. For Council Ward 2, Erica M. Brooks, 193 votes, Orby Peterson, 130 votes, and J. Tony Burrow, 328 votes. For Council Ward 3, Naquita Noah, 131 votes, Latasha M. Brown, 52 votes, and Mike Palmer as a write-in was 121 votes.
I'm requesting motion and a second to receive and file the St. Louis County elections results.
So
So
moved.
moved. I'll second it.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Heather, second by Councilman Fry. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. Certification is placed for filing for the St. Louis County election results. At this time, we'll have our miscellaneous, starting with Councilman Fry.
Folks, please get your shots. Don't fall into propaganda and hype. My whole family's vaccinated except for my sister, but she's crazy. But folks, get your shots. Thanks for having me. And you trust me, you'll see me around. So, hey, catch you later. Bye.
Councilwoman Griffin.
I just want to say I really enjoyed working with Councilman Garrett and with Byron, who has been my whisper in my ear in the middle of council. Um, as I was going through this process, it definitely broke me in. But thank you for being willing to serve. Garrett, I had so much fun being able to work with you on these projects. Like you just, you brought a sense of calm in the midst of a storm. So I appreciate you for bringing that. And I like the way we were able to work together, because I think ultimately, each one of us has something to contribute to this council when we put that effort in to really work with each other and to hear each other. And I appreciate you for doing that. I felt that immediately as soon as you came on council. So thank you for just giving me the opportunity to work with you. It was my pleasure. Congratulations, everyone. I definitely appreciate each and every resident that came out and actually decided to take part in this democratic process. Like, that's important. And community empowering is important. Like, how we do it is important. And so I'm just looking forward to working with everyone, regardless of if you're on council, if you're not on council. Like, I just figure this is something that's going to be ongoing regardless. So I'm looking forward to continuing to work with everyone. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Councilwoman Barrow.
Thank you. Just want to mention that the CRB Town Hall meeting was a great success. We did the training that we had learned from NACO, the same training that the police officers are given. It was a dream of mine to have us to do that town hall, and the CRB came through. Well, all I had to do was say, hey, this is something we ought to do. And they did it, and it was fantastic. And so many people that were online called in and sent text messages because they didn't know that we were doing that kind of work. And it even turned out that the piece that we did about the youth was right on time. And I'm going to be featuring that this summer during summer school, teaching kids about that training that we presented for kids. We have, PACT has rather, a copyrighted no bullying, and we're going to be doing that this summer as well. So I appreciate that and all those that are involved. I got a taste of Facebook while I was running for the re-election, and I don't believe that city government business should be done on social media. Didn't believe it then and still don't believe it now. So I'll be taking that site down. But I did get to know several of the citizens, over 4,500 citizens in Ferguson page. And every day I'm spending hours just communicating with the citizens in Ward 2. I want you to be on the lookout that I will be doing my lessons learned tour, start that on this weekend. So be on the lookout for me to show up at your door. Another thing was last night with the Proud put on an education piece. We had done a piece like that last year or year before last at the Ferguson Florissant School District. And the young people that were there really did a good job. They came out in full-fledged from the school district. Linda and I are doing the 2+2. We are the representatives from the city, and that is a liaison piece. So we're the representatives, and that would be Joe Davis and Terry O'Neill and Albert Hurld. So we'll be doing 2+2. What that does is we forge a partnership with the school district. And so look out for some information on that. The last thing is that I sent out a thank you letter to all the folks that voted for me and for all of you that didn't, to let you know that I'm here to serve and serve 100%. I'm here to serve not just in Ward 2, but every citizen in this city. That's what I've been doing. That's what I intend to do. Stephen, it's been good. I've had a lot of fun. Thanks for working on the SOP. And I do want to let you know, folks, that we're not the only ones that's going to be doing the SOP. I am taking that to other places, and we will be doing that out in, well, I'll let you hear about it later. We'll write about that. So we're using the same SOP, and it's being well received in other municipalities, North St. Louis County. So we're not the only one that's doing the SOP, and it's because of all the work that this council has done that other municipalities said, we want a piece of that. So that tells me that we're doing the right thing. Stephen, thanks so much. I appreciate you.
Councilwoman Robinette.
I'll be brief, but I would like to thank both Councilman Fry, although thank you for doing that. You push a lot of buttons, but you make us think deeper and harder. And I've known you for many, many years in Old Ferguson West, and I know that you're not going anywhere. You're just taking on a different role other than council person. So I appreciate the time that you put in on council. Stephen, Councilman Garrett, I really appreciate the work that you've done, especially with the branding and the SOP. You really have been a very calm person and have spoken out eloquently, better than I could do for such a young guy. Like, I'm about to turn 50 in a couple days, and you speak more eloquently than I do. So I have to give you props for that. But I really appreciate both Councilman Fry and Councilman Garrett's what they brought to the table for these past months or years. And you are the last of the men to leave council. So we're about to have an all-female council. So
Right.
right. So I want to thank everybody who ran during the election. I want to thank everybody who put their name in the hat and who got out there. And thank you for everybody for getting out there and trying to do the right thing for the right reasons. And I will save my congratulations for the next meeting that we have for our incoming. But again, thank you, Byron. Thank you, Stephen, from the bottom of my heart. You've done very well.
Okay. Councilwoman Lipka.
Okay, thank you. I want to start off my comments. I want to thank Alan Mueller for his comments during public comments about the task force, and I do agree that we need more transparency and concern about the sunshine law. I also agree that there is a lot of resources that have been pulled together that can be of a great benefit to the community. I would say, though, that, you know, when you're seeking financial support and you're trying to create new avenues of maybe financial support in various projects and so forth, it can't be done on city letterhead. It has to be done outside of city if it's not sanctioned by the city. That's just legality. So, you know, just some things like that. Those are part of my concerns. And I do want to reiterate that I know there's a lot of people on this call that it's very easy for you guys to assume that you know what I'm thinking or what I'm doing. And it's very easy for everybody to say, well, she never wants to work with Ella. And I'm here to tell you, Ella, in front of everybody, I do want to work with you. That is why I am so adamant about this, because I want it done right. And because the stand that I take for my community is that everything is open and transparent. And that's why I got on this from the very beginning, is to create opportunities for everybody to have a voice. And I won't budge from that. So I'm sorry if people don't agree with me. And just to let Mr. Shropshire know, my character is definitely intact. Thank you for the concern. And I was part of the conversation last night with Proud. And it was a courageous conversation about inequity within education, and it was an awesome conversation. I have a long history with the Ferguson Florissant School District, so I was very pleased, and I was really impressed with the preparation. I would encourage that in that education piece of the task force that you reach out to these people who are working on Forward Through Ferguson. I would also encourage all of you to look into their piece that they put together on education and the inequities within our education system through, it's called stillseparatetstillequal.org. They've pulled together some resources out there that are worth looking at and reading. And it's eye-opening, so it's very good. Those are the kind of resources that my input would ask that we include in these conversations that we have for our community. Also, I want to say thank you to Byron Fry. I mean, dude, you stepped up, you were appointed, you've been here, you've done the work, and you know, nobody wears a wristwatch like you do, because we all see it about this time of the night. So thank you for that. But even when we haven't agreed on everything, what I really admire about you is your honesty, your integrity, and your forthrightness. And that's something that everybody can take a lesson from. And Stephen, I just want to say, Mr. Garrett, that you have been a pleasure to work with as well. Your contributions, your insights have been refreshing, and they have been educational, and they have allowed us, and Byron too, your commentary from both of you gentlemen has allowed us to look at things in a wider perspective. And I would ask both of you to stay involved. And Stephen, your youth is something that's very inspiring for the opportunities of the future growth of Ferguson, to have voices at your age speaking up and doing the work. So thank you for that. And finally, I would just like to say that Miss Heather hits the big 5-0 on Saturday. So happy birthday, Heather. And I hope that you invest in L'Oreal like I am. So yeah, enjoy.
That was unnecessary and mean. I think we
Hey,
just,
you know what?
SOP that
I talk too much. Ha ha.
Okay, Councilman Stephen Garrett.
I'll keep it short. It's time for bed. I get to go to bed. But I really appreciate the opportunity to work with all of you and really get involved in the city. This is more or less my first foray into a lot of what Ferguson has to offer, and it's been a wild trip, and it's been a lot of learning for me, and a lot of great and things that I will remember for the rest of my life, and stuff that I get to take and do a lot more with. And this is something that I could not have had from any school or from any mentor. This has just been such a great life experience, and I have to thank every little moment that I've had with this council and with this city, and I really appreciate everything that everyone's given me.
Okay. Thank you. I just would like to say, Byron, let me see your watch. He didn't do it once, not once tonight. Byron, we are truly, truly gonna miss you. Just love you dearly. Stephen, appreciate your skills. I'm glad I had the opportunity to share with the previous city manager and public works director to tap into your expertise. So thank you for doing everything for the city. You're gonna get a surprise, just put it that way. I just want you to be surprised when you get it. You are going to get a surprise. So I'm not gonna spill the beans, but you are going to get a surprise.
Oh no, now I can't sleep.
You are going to get a surprise. So thank you for all your service. Councilwoman Borough, for being re-elected. Looking forward to working with you. That's all I have. Octavia, do you have anything?
I do. Before these two eagerly run off, I do have a plaque to present to them. Unfortunately, we couldn't do this in person, but I'm going to try to show it here, and I'll make sure that you guys get it. But I'm going to read it for you all, for everyone here. So 1 second. And first, I'm going to go to Byron Fry. Is he there? Nope. Is he there? Oh, he's there. He's trying to.
I link back. I got link back.
Okay, so first, to present it to Byron Fry in recognition of service as a member of the Ferguson City Council from 2019 to 2021. Your time in office has provided us with a living definition of leadership, committed solely to doing the right thing, passionate, devoted, and unyielding. On behalf of the City of Ferguson, thank you for your tireless efforts to preserve all that is good and fair in Ferguson.
Okay. Thank you.
That's not what you're supposed to say.
Thank you.
I'm confused. Did I do something wrong? All day I've had this feeling. Did you? No.
That is not me.
I don't know who that is. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Can we mute outsiders?
Let me see if I can't find that and mute that really quick.
1 minute, Octavia. Apollo, do you want to speak now or later?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to, congratulate Councilwoman Burrow for her win, and also give my parting shots to Councilman Fry and Councilman Garrett. I mean, you guys, I always say whenever there's council turnover, those seats are hot, man. And some nights those seats are hotter than others. And you guys did a really good job of representing for your constituents. And you guys brought different personality traits to the team that were very valuable at different times when we needed them. So that's greatly appreciated. It was a pleasure working with you guys. I will say though, I am a bit disappointed that you leave me and Chief Hampton as the only two men on the dais now. And so, I don't know what to say about all that, but it is what it is. But I'm sure I'll see you guys around, and thank you guys for your service.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and now to Stephen Garrett. This one says, in recognition of your service as a member of the Ferguson City Council from 2020 to 2021, your time in office has provided us with a living definition of dedication, devoted wholly to the common good, devotion, enthusiasm, and commitment. On behalf of the City of Ferguson, thank you for your tireless efforts to preserve all that is good and fair in Ferguson. And again, here it is, if everyone can see it.
Thank you.
Chief Hampton, would you like to speak?
Yes, Mayor. As usual, it's always a pleasure working with council, Councilman Garrett and Councilman Fry. I haven't worked with you very much, but what I've found in talking with both of you or watching at council, you both have passion for the city. So thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay. Any staff member would like to share? Okay. I'm requesting a motion and a second to
Oh, wait a minute.
adjourn. Huh?
Let's just say you're requesting it from BF over here because it's his turn.
Who?
Byron Fry. We're gonna let him do it.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Fry. Okay, here we go.
I move.
Second.
Okay, Sanadai. It's been properly moved by Councilman Fry, second by Councilman Garrett. We're gonna miss you all. We wish you well. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. This is your last meeting. Have a great life. Meeting adjourned.
I'm for it.
On the die. Okay. Are you gonna do a break for 2 minutes? Or are we gonna go right into it? Octavia?
That's up to you guys. We can take a few minutes if everybody needs to, and then to give a few minutes to those that are getting sworn in, so that way they can kind of get themselves together so they can, because they're gonna be up in like 2 minutes, as soon as we come back.
Okay.
So 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Give us 3. Okay.
3 minutes.
So this means I can log off, right?
We're free. We're free, friend.
Yeah.
Stay for the
We'll miss
next
you guys.
portion.
We'll miss you.
So remember, school teachers' hours around between 8:30 and 9:30, I'm usually knocked out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I can go to bed. I'll tell you.
Bye.
Remember, I said on me was a good buy. No, don't spend any money on me. You spend money on me. We're on a budget. We're on a strict budget. It's a little PDF. I was good with that.
That's okay. I'll reach out to you guys tomorrow or one day this week so I can get you guys your parting gifts.
And my name tag.
Yes, I said parting gifts.
Parting gifts.
You have a good night.
I shall, when I'm watching the news and dozing off, I'll greatly and mighty think about everybody in the council. I used to be there.
Oh, that's right.
Now my wings are open. I'm flying away. Adios.
All right, see you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll leave.
Everyone here? Okay.
So,
welcome to the incoming council meeting. Our opening ceremony. I'm calling this meeting to order. The next item is an oath of office. Clerk Pittman to conduct the oath of office.
okay, so I am going to start with Ward 1. So that is Phaedra Nelson.
I don't see her.
She was, yep, I see her. I just have her on mute. Okay.
Here.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have you to repeat after me.
Okay.
Okay, but state your name. So I state your name.
I, Phaedra Nelson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
required by the charter
required by the charter
and that I am not
and that I am not
subject to any disqualifications set forth in the charter in relation to the office of council member of the city of Ferguson, Missouri, and that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and of the state of Missouri and the charter and ordinances of the city of Ferguson, Missouri, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office. So help me God. All right, congratulations. Yay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Congratulations, Miss Phaedra.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, Phaedra.
Congratulations, Phaedra. We love you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Ms. J. Tony Burrow. If I get you to say something so you can come to my front screen because I don't see you. yet.
Hello there. How are you tonight?
All right, okay, I see you now. I see you now. All right, again, you're going to repeat after me and state your name. I state your name.
J. Tony Burrow.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
required by the charter
required by the charter,
and that I am not
and that I am not
subject to
subject to
any of the disqualifications
any of the disqualifications
set forth in the charter
set forth in the charter
in relation to
in relations to
the office of council member
the office of council member
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
and that I will support
and that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
of the state of Missouri,
of the state of Missouri,
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office,
the duties of my office.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Congratulations, Tony.
Thank you all.
Yay, Tony. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Tony, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to having a great time.
Congratulations, Tony.
Great
Thank
job.
you, Ms. Debbie. Thank you. Y'all see, I brought my own fan club with me.
All right, next up is Miss Nikita Noah. If I get you to say something, so
I'm ready.
okay, you ready? All right. Okay, again, repeat after me and state your name. So I state your name.
I, Nikita Noah,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all of the qualifications
required by the charter
required by the charter
and that I am not
and that I am not
subject to
subject to
any of the disqualifications
any of the disqualifications
set forth in the charter
set forth in the charter
in relation to
in relation to
the office of council member
the office of council member
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
and that I will support
and that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
of the city of Ferguson, Missouri,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office,
the duties of my office,
so help me God.
so help me God.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Ferguson.
Congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, okay.
Next.
Roll call.
Uh-oh, wait a minute, I lost my sheet, I'm sorry. Having too much fun. Okay, Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
Councilwoman Griffin,
Here.
Councilwoman.
Sorry, here. I'm sorry, here. I'm nervous.
Well, you
That's
certainly
all
don't
right.
look like it. You look all pretty and everything. Nobody would have ever known.
Councilwoman Burrow,
Aye, yeah, whatever you want. I just want to make you comfortable, Noah.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Here.
Mayor Jones,
Here.
Councilwoman Lipka.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Aye, here.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nelson.
Here.
Well, a quorum is present. At this time, do we have any public comments?
I do not.
Okay, let's move on to the election of Mayor Pro Tem. The floor is open for nominations.
Mayor, I would like to nominate
I would
myself.
like to
Oh, okay.
I got a hand up.
Linda spoke first. Go ahead.
I would like to nominate myself as Mayor Pro Tem this time.
What?
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Are there any more nominations?
I would like to nominate Fran Griffith for Mayor Pro Tem.
Is there a second?
I would like to second.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Nominations closed. Okay, right now, questions? No questions? Are you ready to vote? At this point, we're gonna vote for Linda. She was first. So Octavia, could you can we do a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Councilwoman Noah,
No.
Councilwoman Griffin,
No.
Councilwoman Burrow,
Aye.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
No.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Nelson.
No.
What's the vote count, please?
Okay, so that one is 3 aye and 4 nay.
The next person, Fran Griffin. Roll call, please.
Okay, Councilwoman Noah,
Aye.
Councilwoman Griffin,
Aye.
Councilwoman Burrow,
Nay.
Councilwoman Robinette,
Aye.
Robinette,
Aye.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lipka,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Nelson.
We can't hear you.
Councilwoman Nelson, oh, okay.
Unmute.
I'm sorry, I thought I was unmuted. Aye.
What is the vote count, please?
I have 6 aye and 1 nay.
According to the vote count, Fran Griffin is the new Mayor Pro Tem. So order. Congratulations, Fran Griffin.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. At this time, I would like to have a motion and a second for the council members, boards, and commission appointments be moved to Thursday for a workshop so we can really work on the assignment of the council members for the boards and commissions.
Will it be an open discussion that will happen at that time?
Of course it will.
And when is this work session? I've heard about it, but I haven't seen an email on it.
It will come out in the morning. It will be Thursday at 6:30. There's 3 items that will be placed on the work session, and following the work session, there will be a closed session. The work session will be for new council members to answer any questions that they have. The second item on the agenda will be the discussions of boards and commission. And the third item on the agenda will be about the fire department. And then we will go into a closed session for personnel matters. And an email will come out in the morning.
So moved.
Seconded.
It has been properly moved by Councilwoman Linda Lipka and second by Councilwoman Fran Griffin. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We'll go to a work session. Miscellaneous. So let's start with, we have any miscellaneous?
Yes, I'll go with the,
When you're
Apollo,
ready.
you got miscellaneous, Apollo?
I just want to congratulate you again, Councilwoman Burrow. I know I did it the last time in the last meeting, but also congratulate the new council members, Councilwoman Noah and Councilwoman Nelson. It's exciting, to be honest with you. I don't know if you guys listened to the last consent decree status hearing that we had, but I made a point of making notice to the judge that we were going to have an all-female council. And I'll tell you, this reminds me of, growing up. I grew up in a house full of, my mom and her aunts, my grandmother, sisters, and that kind of thing. So I'm very comfortable, in that role, with the ladies in charge. So it's just really, I think that it's a very proud day for, women to have an all-female council. So I just wanted to congratulate everybody.
Okay.
For Miss-
Councilwoman Burrow, you were next.
Yes, I want to welcome you on board, Nikita and Phaedra. Want to let you know if there's anything that I can do, I stand at the ready. If you need anything whatsoever, don't you hesitate. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to step up. I look forward to it. I have 9 sisters. I tell you something, and I understand being a sister. So you can come on with. I think Phaedra, you know my sister Zell, right?
I do. I do, Miss Ella. Love her
Okay.
dearly.
All right.
Yes.
Also, my girl Shalonda.
Oh, yes.
I'm grandmother
Oh, yeah,
to her
that's
3
what's up.
sons. So we got something in common already. Those 3 boys live in my house. So we get you'll be welcome when they come. Okay. You come with them.
Okay.
But come with
Okay.
an appetite. Come with an appetite. You know how they eat. Come with an appetite. Okay. You're
Okay.
welcome at any time. Anything I can do for you, myself available to you. I'm up real late and I get up real early. So no time is too early, no time is too late. And anybody on this call would tell you that's the truth. If you need something, you let me know. You have not because you ask not. So if you miss it out, it's your fault. Fran, tell them I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed that part.
I said, Fran, tell them I'm telling the truth. No time is too early, no time is too late. You need me, you call me.
Oh.
Okay, since you're speaking, Fran, you up.
Oh, okay, miscellaneous. I'm sorry, miscellaneous. I'm so used to us just having an extensive meeting, so this is very short. But welcome, Miss Phaedra. Look, you took care of my baby, so that in itself lets me know and lets me know that your interest is in our youth. I cannot wait to work with you, Miss Phaedra, because I know that together we all will put together some magnificent things for our community.
Yes.
Miss Noah, thank you. Thank you for deciding to run. We need to have a voice in our community. And I respect the fact that you decided to take that on and that you decided to get out there and knock them doors and win them votes, because that's what's going to be needed is the relationship with the community. Knowing what the people need in the community, like that's necessary. And I definitely want to work with you on that. I want to find out ways that we can where we meet in common ground and ways that we can begin to build a strong relationship, because you live here, you know, just like I live here. And I heard you say you got a son that's 21. He's a junior in college. Mine is as well. So I think, you know, we have a lot more in common. And I can't wait to get to know more about you, and what it is that you want to do in this community, what you see, what you envision, because all of that adds into what all the goals that we have. You know, I can't wait for us to sit down as a council all together and really put our minds together and create something beautiful. Like I thank you so much for taking this time out. It's not gonna always be easy, but I think if we got that same goal in mind, we can figure out how to achieve it together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Chief Hampton, and do you see Chief Armstrong?
I can check real quick.
Yes, Mayor, I'm here.
Oh, good, good. I feel so bad I didn't call you at the first council meeting. So would you, Chief Hampton, would you mind allowing Chief Armstrong to go before you?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Chief Armstrong.
What am I going exactly for?
Congratulating the new council people.
Okay, all right. I was here multitasking. So I apologize.
That's okay.
But no, yeah, absolutely. I want to jump on board with everybody else has been saying and has been sharing, you know, welcoming Councilwoman Noah and Councilwoman Nelson to the council. And just I look forward to working with both of you all. And also congratulations to Councilwoman Burrow on her reelection. I'm just looking forward to working with everybody and doing what we can do for the city.
Okay. Chief Hampton.
Yes, ma'am, Mayor and Council women. Congratulations to all. And just like Jason Armstrong said, we're willing and ready to work with each and every one of you. But if you need anything, reach out and I will help you get you settled in or whatever you need. Okay? Well, good luck and we'll be here.
Okay. Councilwoman Linda Lipka.
Are we going by the ward table, the diocese? Because it would be Heather's
No, I'm
turn.
just calling people randomly. That's all.
Okay. Well, I just want to welcome both of you ladies, Nokita, and I want to make sure I'm saying this right. So please correct me. Is it Nokita or Nakita?
Naquita.
Naquita. See? There you go. Naquita. Did I say that right?
You did.
Because I want to make sure I get that right. People love their names being spoken properly. So Naquita, congratulations. Welcome to the council. I just want to reiterate, if there's anything I can help you with, if you have any questions, and if you have questions about where I stand or why I stand somewhere, I am open to those conversations. So if we don't agree on something, don't be afraid to say, hey, Linda, let's talk. I want to know why you feel this way. Fran and I do that all the time. And in those types of conversations, we come up with new and better ideas that we have collaborated on. So don't let that stop you. If you're mad at me, call me and tell me that too. I'm okay with that. I mean, I just want to have open dialogue in all levels. And so welcome. And Phaedra, welcome to you too. I look forward to working with you. I have some ideas that I'd like to share with you in the near future. I can't see your face because you're not on my screen. So I just want to thank you for stepping up to this, and I look forward to working with you. And the same thing, you know, in that regard, I would love to have open conversations with you. If you have questions about why I have a certain perspective or anything along those lines, feel free to call me at any time. I would like to create new and refreshing solutions with each and every one of you that will benefit our community through any level of how we see things. So as long as we keep that dialogue open and we are willing to listen to one another, we'll be able to come up with great solutions together. So I look forward to that opportunity with my new council partner in Ward 1. And I look forward to us working together to really get some great things done for our community. So Tony, welcome back. Welcome back to you. You're a powerful, powerful woman. And you know, I look forward to working with you on everything that is going on here too.
Look forward to it.
Okay. Councilwoman Robinette.
So it took me a while to realize that we would be an all-female council, which is historical. And as an engineer, I work with a lot of men. So working with women isn't my strong suit, but I've learned to work better with women through community. And I realized that the relationships that I've built throughout community and the relationships that I've built on council with fellow council members are very, very strong and very focused and very inspiring. So I am coming to this new council, Miss Naquita and Miss Phaedra. I'm an optimist always. I am an optimist, and I feel that we can move mountains together, and where we won't always agree. Like, let's just put it that way. But I want you to know that I will respect your input and I will listen to you. I will hear you as you represent your constituents. And I'm really looking forward to how we work together. So congratulations, and congratulations to my co-partner, Tony Burrow, for another ride along this crazy train that we have. So it's all good.
It's all good.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief Hampton has one more thing to say.
Mayor and Council, once again, I will make sure everybody gets this book. It's on the rebranding, and I will make sure each council member gets one in case you do not have one. Octavia and myself have talked about it already, and we will work on it this week.
Okay.
Mayor Jones, there's somebody by the name of Betty Barrett that has her hand up. I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but she's had it up a long time. I don't know if you can see it. Do you see it, Octavia? Her name is Betty Barnett. You want to call her name? Her hand is raised.
Ms. Burrows,
That's all you guys, if you're gonna allow, if we're allowing guests.
No.
We weren't at this meeting.
Okay.
It went up when everybody was clapping.
Oh, okay, okay.
Miss Octavia.
Does that mean it's my turn? I don't have anything else other than just to congratulate the three of you on your election and re-election. I've already had some conversations with each one of you, so I'm here for the calling. So if you need anything, just give me a call.
Okay. Now we'll hear from Phaedra.
I just want to take the time to thank the residents of Ward 1 for voting for me as their council person, and thank them for the confidence that they've placed in me to represent Ward 1 with integrity and excellence. And I'm ready to be a team player and work with the council so we can get things done to help move our city forward.
Miss Naquita.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. I'm definitely ready to get to work to move our city forward. We do have to work together. And I want to thank you, Fran, for what you said. I'll be reaching out to you. But thank you, Ward 3. Thank you for the confidence in me. It was a tight race, but I prevailed. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. I don't think we have any staff members that would like to speak. If not, okay, I would just like to say congratulations to Phaedra Nelson, Tony Burrow for being re-elected, and Naquita Noor. Congratulations, and looking forward to working with all of you. At this time, I would like a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, The motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Tony Borough and second by Councilwoman Naquita Noor. Are you ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Looking forward to
everyone.
working with you guys.
Have a
Looking
good
forward
night.
to it. Have a good night.
Night, everyone.
Good night.